Hi, I'm going to show you guys how to foam roll mostly the lower portion of the body, a little bit on the back. And want to check with your doctor to make sure that, starting a new program is okay if that is something that's important to you. So I'm just on my shins here. And if you have real bad shin splints and the pain, if there's pain that's like you have to grate your teeth, then don't do that portion. We do want to make sure that we are releasing some connective tissue in that area if you can deal with that pressure. Now, just walking back and forth on the forearms helps to release the quadriceps in the front of the leg, right above the knee. You don't want to roll right on the kneecap, but you can get a little extra pressure here by crossing the leg and focusing on just, a little bit more body pressure and weight on that right side there that I have. And just using your arms to walk back and forth. And then also putting my feet up like this kind of helped with adding a little bit more pressure to the quadriceps as well. So you can do that on both sides. Coming off to the side and using your leg as some support there, you can loosen up the thigh that way and get a bit more into the hip flexors up towards the pelvis, kind of rolling onto the tensor fascia lata muscle, which is a quad muscle. And this is a bit of active release. So you find the spots that are tender, add a little bit of pressure, and by flexing the foot, it extends that muscle and doing an active release. So that's always nice to do when you find those tender areas. And I'm doing this in my jeans and t-shirt because I just want people to know that you can do this on a break from work. And that's exactly what I'm doing. It's just a quick break from work. And I came in for 10 minutes to just do some foam rolling. So it's something that can be added into your routine. You don't have to change clothes and, make sure you're in workout attire. This is something comfortable that allows you to move. So here I'm getting on to the side of the other leg and then getting into the iliotibial band and the side of the quads, adding additional pressure to increase the body weight by stacking the feet. Don't extend the arm too far. Stay within a comfortable range of motion, bringing your arm up. If it doesn't work where you have a great range of motion, then just do, inch at a time, kind of walking it up and back for the arm. Again, releasing the thigh and the hip flexors a bit, the side of the leg as well, by kind of walking up and back, supporting the body's weight. And you want this, it's going to have some tender areas, but you don't want to feel like you're starting to sweat or it's a sharp stabbing or shooting pain. So if it is any of those, then back off a bit and just start real light, just so you feel the pressure in that tender area. And just start working real light until it starts to loosen up. You want to work through the layers of tissue. Now coming onto the hamstrings, that could be a little bit tricky because it doesn't seem like you get a lot of pressure on the hamstrings, but you can kind of play and see what feels good for you. You can do both legs like I just did originally, and then moving on to the side, you can add a little bit of additional pressure to the hamstrings there, and whatever is comfortable for your wrists. You can put your palms flat on the floor as well. And if you have your fingers facing towards the back wall, it might give you a little bit more support. And then just some light stuff on the calf muscles, which is always really nice. It helps to also loosen up the fascia that runs down under the feet. and help to relax some of the knee tension that people might feel. And just make sure you have decent posture, so you're not all hunched over or leaning on one side too much. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed, and crossing the ankles there gives it a little bit added pressure. You can try different angles, more towards the outside of the calf, towards the center, and then towards the medial portion or middle. Now, if you have a history of blood clots, then you can definitely be more cautious of this area. Maybe just focus on the outside and the inside, not so much the back. So that's always a precaution. Make sure that, if your body doesn't want to move in a certain position, don't force it. Just go 1 inch at a time, and wherever you can find a comfortable zone. Now, getting into the glutes is important, especially if you have low back pain, hip pain, limited range of motions in the hips. So just kind of getting along that sacrum. Now, if you've had a tailbone injury, this could be uncomfortable, so don't necessarily have to keep rolling all the way over the tailbone like I am, but you can just like that, how you kind of sit over it, work one little area at a time, and just don't roll over that real painful spot. But try to get everywhere around it that you can, as long as it's not, like I said, shooting, stabbing. If it is, just back off the pressure and try to work out those areas of tension lightly and, slowly. It can take time to work through the layers, especially if you're just starting to foam roll. So this is getting into the glute maximus, glute medius a bit there at the top. And then you have about 6 deep muscles in the glutes under the glutes that are important to be able to release and help relieve tension. And it can relieve tension around the nerves, reduce trigger points. And wherever you find those spots that are tender, just spend a little bit extra time there. You want to make sure that you're also being safe around the sacrum. Some of the spots on the sacrum, which is the triangular bone right behind on the low, under the low back, and that can have some little bony spots in it. So if you feel like you're kind of going over bone, try to adjust the weight. Then here you can get more of the glute medius and TFL, and then also around the IT band. Those are all really good spots to get when you have pain in the, like I said, hips, legs, low back, just to help increase circulation. And there is a bit of active release. So once you find the spots that are tender again, just contract and relax, and you can play with the motion and see which one you get the best active stretch out of. So just kind of playing with the movements there and making sure that, if there is a position or movement that helps to release that tender area a bit more, then kind of play with it and see what feels good to you. And then gently and gradually you can roll down the back. And you can do this really slow, so you don't have to go as quickly as I am, and if it hurts the low back, then you can always start on the upper back and just roll where you're comfortable. So again, bulging discs, herniated discs, several different low back pathologies. could be painful for this technique. So do what's in your comfort level. Don't do what is going to cause intense pain. Something that is comfortable for you within your pain tolerance. And there again, no gritting the teeth. You should be able to breathe through every motion. Then I like to stretch out my neck a little bit in the back, so then I kind of come up and stretch the back of the neck. And I like to give a good long stretch at the end. And don't forget to apply your deep blue to those sore spots. Have a great day.